Borthakur IAS Academy, an endeavor of excellence.
Borthakur IAS Academy.
Hello everyone, welcome to Borthakur's IAS Academy, Northeast's premier institute for UPSC, APSC and NPSC preparations. I am your friend Atrey, and today I am here with another segment of Current Affairs 365, dated 28th of May 2021. Don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also follow us on Facebook as well as Instagram for any update related to civil services examination and all the other state government services. So without any further ado, let's get started. So the first news of the day is about the unorganized workers, and Supreme Court of India, it has directed the central as well as the state government to complete a process of registration of all those unorganized workers in order to provide them the welfare benefits under various government schemes. The Supreme Court's observations includes the following key points. Firstly, record of migrant workers. It has asked all the union territories and the states to keep a record of all the returning migrant laborers, including their details about their places of employment earlier and the skills which they have. This will help them in providing extended necessary support to all the migrants, right? Then nextly, a common national database. There should be one common national database for all the organized workers who are situated in the different states. And this process will be initiated by the Ministry of Labour and Employment for creating a national database of all the unorganized workers, and that will be done in collaboration with and coordination of the state governments. Next is the mechanism for supervision. There should be a suitable mechanism which will monitor and supervise the benefits of the welfare schemes that which have reached the beneficiaries or not. Okay, they'll keep a check on this. And then lastly, the dry ration to all the stranded workers. This will be provided under the Atmanirbhar Bharat scheme or any other scheme which will be found suitable by the center and the states. Migration, we all know that it is the movement of people usually from their places of birth or residence across either within the country or across the country borders, right? And as per the census of 2011, the data which was collected, India had around 45.6 crore migrants in 2011 compared to 31.5 crore migrants in the year 2001. Now, these migrant workers, they keep on moving from one place to another, and also they keep shifting from one sector to another depending upon opportunities, right? And therefore, it is not very easy to keep a record or data of such migrant labor workforce units. And the COVID-19 lockdown, it has led to the exodus of migrant workers from various cities to the rural areas, and this has actually thrown spotlight on the vast number of Indians who actually live outside their home states. Lakhs of workers, they were rendered jobless as urban areas, they were totally closed, okay, due to the lockdown. And the night shelters which are run by some local authorities, they begin to overflow, and their supplies, they started dwindling because of the increase in number of migrant workers there. Now, if we have a look at the provisions which are related to migrant workers, then first is the section 112 of the Code of Social Security 2020. Registration of unorganized workers, gig workers and platform workers are contemplated under this particular section. And the section 21 of Code on Occupational Health, Safety and Working Condition, it enables the provision for maintaining a database of all the migrant workers, which in turn is going to help in targeting, skill mapping and utilizing the government schemes effectively. And lastly, the third one is the Interstate Migrant Workmen Act of 1979. This particular act required establishments who hired interstate migrants to be registered. Along with it, all the contractors who recruited these workers, they also had to be licensed. Some of the initiatives which are taken in this particular sector is the interoperability of ration card under the One Nation, One Ration Card scheme. The beneficiaries from one state, they can get their share of rations in other states where the ration card was originally issued. Then secondly, you all must heard of the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana, which is a part of the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan package. This helps the poor fight the battle of COVID-19. Then we also have the Garib Kalyan Rozgar Abhiyan. This scheme provides livelihood opportunities to the returnee migrant workers and the rural citizens who have returned to their home states because of the COVID-19 induced lockdowns. The second news is based on the challenges which are put forwarded by the combined effect of COVID-19 pandemic and the infodemic. Okay, here we will have a look at the relation between pandemic and infodemic. COVID-19 is the first pandemic in world's history where social media and technology, they have been used in a large scale to spread misinformation and health related rumors. Okay, and this has compelled the World Health Organization to name this pandemic as infodemic. Infodemic is actually the overabundance of information that has made people difficult to identify the truth and also to opt for those trustworthy sources from the false or the misleading ones. In the present state of emergency, health information which is flashed on social media is often shared and reshared irrespective of its authenticity. The fake news, they frequently lead to spread of misinformation, and this traumatize the public, right? And one such fear and related to social media misinformation is about the COVID-19 vaccines. Due to this, vaccine hesitancy has been pointed as one of the top 10 threats by the World Health Organization, top 10 threats to global health. Firstly, let us have a look at the linkage between this pandemic and infodemic. Okay, the shift from 20th century's dominated environment of print and broadcast media to an increasingly digital media and social media dominated ecosystem, this is one of the main reason. Okay, there is lack of filtering on the online platforms, which negates any authentication of the mechanisms. The cognitive overload of information during the pandemic, there has been seen a rise in confusion, anxiety and uncertainty. This has led to an increased transmission of such health rumors. The accuracy or the credibility of the source, they are mostly ignored, okay, on social media. And the users, they are already cognitively overloaded with too much of information. So this is another problem. The next link is actually the public's coping mechanism, and many studies, they have found that during a crisis like any terror attack or global pandemic, natural disaster, etc., sharing of rumors, it works like a coping mechanism. People, they tend to draw some sort of false sense of relief, such as anxiety or fears, which are associated with this uncertain situation, which is completely momentary. Okay, and in the long run, during a pandemic, prior research, they have also found that health rumors exchanged in a community that can actually instill fear among the public. Now we will have a look at the probable solutions. First is leveraging the positive role of social media. We all know that social media is right now acting as a fertile ground for all these dangerous rumors, right? It can, however, act as an indispensable source of some vital information also. So the government and the health agencies, they must establish an engaging web presence in order to debunk all the misinformation and fill the knowledge gaps. Further, some celebrities or social media influencers, they can be engaged in motivating the people who are less eager to take the vaccine. Secondly, the responsibility of social media platforms. First of all, the social media platforms like Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, WhatsApp, etc., they must be proactive in adding the features which allows the users to access informations that are verified. Also, there must be some, the efforts must be doubled in flagging misinformation and rapidly removing such health rumors. And lastly, they work on the information hygiene. Through COVID-19, the social media have highlighted the importance of maintaining personal hygiene. And this conversation about the information of hygiene, it must now happen in our society, and that can include verifying the authentic source of fact, double checking the facts, okay, on website, then asking some subject experts regarding their opinion on a particular issue, etc. The next news is about the sun halo, and recently the people of Bangalore, they witnessed a bright rainbow ring around the sun for some time, and this particular phenomena is called the 22-degree circular halo. This particular phenomena is mainly occurs when the sun's or moon's rays gets deflected through the hexagonal ice crystal which is present in the cirrus cloud. This cloud, cirrus cloud, it is a specific type of cloud which is thin, detached and hair-like. They are generally formed very high up in the atmosphere at a height of around 20,000 feet. And these halos are called 22-degree halos because the ring or the halo, it has an apparent radius of 22 degrees around the sun or the moon. And this particular phenomena is also called the kaleidoscopic effect. The next news is regarding the launch of Ayush Clinical Case Repository Portal and the third version of Ayush Sanjeevani app. This was done recently by the Ministry of Ayush, and the main aim here is to portray the strength of Ayush systems for the treatment of various disease conditions. The ACCR portal, it is developed by the Ministry of Ayush as a platform which will support both Ayush practitioners as well as the public. And the cases whose details are posted here, it will be screened by the experts and then it will be uploaded for all to read and view. Coming to the app Sanjeevani, Ayush Sanjeevani app's third version, it has been developed by the Ministry of Ayush and also the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. The first version of this app was launched in May 2020, and this particular app, it mainly targets to reach out to around 50 lakh people of our country. Here, the aim of this app is to understand the measures which are being adopted by the public for enhancing their immunity and also to keep what they are doing in order to keep themselves healthy during the COVID-19 situation. The data which will be analyzed, it is going to be helpful for further development of this Ayush system. So now let us have a look at the current scenario of the dairy sector in our country. We will see the crisis which the dairy sector is facing. First of all, we will discuss the significance of this particular sector. Then we will have a look at the issues, what is bothering the dairy sector and because of what are the reasons why the dairy sector is facing all these crises, right? And then lastly, we will see some solutions, okay, which the dairy farmers can opt in order to move out of this particular condition. Now, if we have a look at the significance of the dairy sector, then first is providing livelihood. The farm dependent population that comprises of laborers and cultivators, they are involved in dairying, okay? And of the total population of around 70 million who are engaged in raising of cattle and buffaloes, around 69% of them are female workers. And this particular percentage, it constitutes around 5.72% of the total female workforce of our country, and around 93% of this particular percentage of women, they resides in the rural areas. So they are also providing women empowerment specifically in the rural areas, right? And next, coming to the economic growth. In the gross value added from agriculture of the year 2019 and 20, livestock sector, it contributed to around 28% of it. Moreover, this particular sector, it provides a safety net. That means the growth rate of around 6% per annum in milk production, it provides a great support to the farmers, specifically during flood and drought condition, because the milk production, it rises in case of during the time of crop failures because of some natural calamities, as the farmers, they can provide more time on animal husbandry at that point of time. Now let us have a look at the issues in the dairy sector. First of all, high susceptibility, because the milk producers, they are highly susceptible to some minor shocks like demand for milk or milk products, and they are also sensitive to the changes in employment and income of the consumers. Then we can also see the lack of political clout, because these people who are engaged in dairy sector, okay, they do not have a political clout which can advocate for their rights, unlike other sectors like sugarcane, wheat, rice producing units of the agriculture, right? And thirdly, no MSP, minimum support price for milk. There is no official or periodical estimate of the cost of production and also MSP for milk. Then shortage in manpower. As per reports in August 2020, the Animal Husbandry and Dairying Department, it reported a requirement of around 2.02 lakh artificial insemination technicians in our country, whereas the availability was only 1.16 lakhs. And lastly, we will have to make a mention of the impact of COVID-19. First of all, increased cost and reduced demand in this period. The closure of shops, it had cut down the demand for milk and milk products, while on the other hand, because of shortage of fodder and cattle feed, it has pushed up the input cost. Then there are reduced number of buyers here. Okay, during the pandemic, it has almost led to a self-imposed ban on the door-to-door sale of the liquid milk, and this has happened in both urban and rural areas. So it actually has forced the farmers to sell the entire produce to some dairy cooperatives at a much lower price. And lastly, because of unavailability of the veterinary services, private veterinary service, they have almost stopped due to COVID-19, and this has led to the death of milch animals also. So now if we have a look at the way forward, okay, what are the probable solutions, then we have to focus on 3 points. So the dairy farmers, they will need assistance in these 3 areas. Okay, first one is generation of a stable market and remunerative price for the liquid milk, ignoring its fat content or giving more weightage to the quantity of milk. Then secondly, uninterrupted supply of fodder and cattle feed at a reasonable price, it is a must. And lastly, there should be uninterrupted supply of the veterinary services and medicines as well. So this was all for today. I hope you liked this video and it was useful for you all. Please like and share this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, don't forget to get your copy of Monthly Current Affairs by BIAS for the month of April. You can contact us in the WhatsApp number which is given here. I'll see you all again tomorrow with another session of Current Affairs 365 only at Borthakur's IAS Academy, Northeast's premier institute for UPSC, APSC and NPSC preparations. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.
Borthakur IAS Academy. প্রস্তুতি আৰু অধ্যয়নৰ নিৰ্ভৰযোগ্য ঠিকনা।
Borthakur IAS Academy.